Yeah, so this is a partnership between the two parties, which really consolidates a lot of the work that we have done. One around the Anzac Day challenge that we support Matt with each year, but it's actually much more than that. We run programs that are designed to help families and children of Defence Force service people, and with the challenges that are unique to them. Matt has teams that focus on the Indigenous community within the Defence Force, and women are increasingly playing, and so we will be supporting the football programs of the Defence Force. But it's really more a recognition of the significance of the Defence Force, the Port Adelaide Football Club in the Port Adelaide area. For us, increasingly our heartland activities are essential, and our programs will bring those communities together increasingly, and so we're thrilled to really be consolidating what we've been doing for many years.
You sort of touched on it a little bit, but some of the tangible things like the fans see of this partnership. Yeah, so
they'll be seeing the Air Force and the Army playing through the Anzac Challenge. Again, this is an arm of our community programs who run a lot of the interaction with the Defence Force, and so it's in classrooms. It's very much at a family level that we're doing these things, but we just find ways to support each other each year, and as I said, it's been growing. So there's a football aspect, there's a social aspect, there's an education aspect. It's quite diverse, actually.
So how do we report this, Keith? You've signed a partnership, you've extended a partnership, or you've formalised it? What would be the right terminology?
Well, I guess we've had we've been exceptionally grateful, but long-term support from the Port Adelaide Football Club over more than a decade. It's enabled us to bring the best of our, initially the men's footballers from across the Navy, Army and Air Force to Adelaide and play on a major oval as a curtain raiser to whatever Port Adelaide's Anzac round commitment is for that year. Now that's been going for many years in an informal nature and very exceptionally well supported, with training out at Alberton Oval, support from the staff. Our community's been fantastic in this whole program, and to enable our serving members to have an opportunity they wouldn't otherwise get. So we've been doing that, but now that's expanded as we walk forward, and as Keith said, as we walk forward with Indigenous football development programs, our women's football, and indeed what's happening for the next couple of days is wheelchair AFL, of which we've been a major partner in, and Port Adelaide supported us down at St Clair Recreation Centre, where we've got soldiers and sailors undergoing rehabilitation and recovery, participating in a sport they love through a different means. So as it's become more complex, we're now ensuring that both parties understand what we're signing is an ongoing partnership, and we're formalising what has been there, but I think it's now more appropriate that we show and demonstrate that what we've got together is something very common, but also very supportive of each other, and we like that, and we want to formalise it more fully going forward.
When you say it's ongoing, is there a time frame that you've put on this partnership?
No, it's you've said it perfectly. It is an ongoing partnership. It's just formalised, where each year, how it would normally happen is each year we would discuss it and sort of roll on a year-by-year basis. What we're saying here, this is locked in. We are committed to each other, and from a planning point of view, there's no question as to whether we're going to be doing certain aspects. It's locked in, and so it's just an ongoing arrangement.
One of the things I'd commit to is Port Adelaide's tradition and culture, very similar to us. Our demographic, our young men and women, very similar to us. The issues we face in managing those individuals, very similar to us that the ADF goes through, and the positive outcomes that we can have that Keith reflected on in terms of employment and the opportunity and development. It's wonderful. But the fact that you have a tradition at the Port Adelaide Football Club dating back to 1870, World War I, World War II, and as recently as the Vietnam War, where Port Adelaide Magpie players have been killed in action, is something that really resonates for us, and the support from Koshi and Keith and the whole club in supporting the Anzac spirit and what we stand for is something that we connect very strongly with, and we really appreciate that. And I'll just say, as long as you keep getting the Anzac Day game as a home game,
Yes.
we'll be there. Thank you.
It does help with that conversation, I've got to say, because every year we have to ask for it, and now we'll say, well, we've got the whole Defence Force behind us. Keep giving it to us. So.
Just going to touch on that, Keith. What Adelaide does at Anzac Round so well,
Yes.
26, so the day after Anzac Day is a Friday night fixture. Can you just tell us why it's so important to your club?
Well, it's really tapping into what Matt said, is that our club has intrinsic links, both through players that have served in the forces, but more importantly the family and community connections that Port Adelaide has through the district and into the Defence Forces is well established. It's a big part of our history, and we'll be talking a lot more about this at the Anzac Round. But for us, it actually just supports our whole philosophy around doing good things in the community together, and Anzac Day gives us a fantastic opportunity to elevate the service that our Defence Forces provide in a way that everyone can understand, and they're very special.